So welcome back, fans of all things Disney. I have something a little bit different today. I actually just put my two kids on a 3-hour plane ride to New York, and I am absolutely freaking out, so please excuse the no eye makeup. There were an awful lot of tears and goodbye moments. But in order to keep my stress level down, I think, because as I said, I am freaking out here, I'm not going to leave the Orlando area until I know that they are good and on the ground in New York, as ridiculous as that sounds. If I need to hop a flight, I'm going to be able to do it. And I know it's not that simple, but whatever makes me a little less stressed. So I'm going to go over to Disney for a little bit. I'm going to do some pin trading, and in order to kind of keep my mind straight and off of my kids in the air, my entire world in the air, I'm going to challenge myself to try to do pin trading in each of the 4 parks in the 3 hours that they are in the air, including travel time between all of the parks. And then a little bit of a bonus for me if I can also get Disney Springs before I get the text that they have landed safe and sound in New York. So wish me luck. So I am pleased to report that my children landed in New York perfectly fine, very safe landing, and our family friend picked them up from the airport. I did not complete my challenge of trading pins at every one of the parks before they landed, but I was at Magic Kingdom, which was 3rd on my list. I finished up there, and I figured I had made it that far. I might as well go ahead on over to Animal Kingdom and finish it up. I was able to get an awful lot of great pins, but I figured I would just recap the day for you before I share those pins. So I started off at Hollywood Studios, which I don't know if it was the best thing to do, and I learned a little something along my challenge. We started at Hollywood Studios, and the security line was pretty horrific to get in. I happened to park just about at park opening, so the security line, and of course I had a bag, took forever to get through. But once I was through and I got through the turnstiles, which it seemed like everybody and their brother was having a little bit of trouble with the magic band and the fingerprint, but once I made it through, it was very, very quick. I just focused on the shops that were right there when you first walk through the gates, and I was able to trade pins and be out of Hollywood Studios and on my way over to Epcot very, very quickly. I chose to, and this is where I think I made my mistake, I chose to take the boat from Hollywood Studio to Epcot, not really being all that familiar with the path where they would stop and how long it would take, and I realized very quickly on the journey that it was going to take quite a while to get me over to Epcot, so I decided that I would hop off of the boat when we got to the Dolphin and Swan Hotel, stop for the boat, and then I just walked. I walked over to the boardwalk, and then I actually stopped at the little gift shop there on the boardwalk, and I traded a couple of pins, and then I continued on to Epcot. And as I was walking up to the gates of Epcot, the boat that I had boarded at Hollywood Studios was pulling in. So I didn't save any time by hopping off of the boat, but I did get some mileage in. And because I'm training for the half marathon in a couple of weeks, that it was kill 2 birds with 1 stone kind of a moment for me. So I was very pleased with that. Once I got into Epcot, I entered at World Showcase, that entrance, and I very easily traded pins along the way as I made my way through World Showcase and over into Future World. And then I chose to take the monorail to Magic Kingdom, which I think was also a mistake. They did have buses that were going to Magic Kingdom, and they had buses from Hollywood Studios to Epcot, which that's something new. That's not something that I had ever really experienced, park hopping using the buses that they're providing. So I think the next time I go to do something like this, I might just take those buses because it does seem to be a little bit faster. But I did get to ride the monorail, and I love the monorail. It's one of my absolute favorite things to do when I'm at Disney. So I took the monorail over to Magic Kingdom, and as I was walking through the gates to Magic Kingdom, I got the text that my children had landed, that they were safe and sound, that they were with my friend in New York, and that everything was good. So you can just imagine the relief that I felt in that moment. I actually had some tears that came to the eyes when I found out that they were safe, because even though this challenge was meant to just kind of keep my mind busy, and it did a little bit, it didn't take my mind off the fact that my entire world was in the air and they were flying, you know, over 1,000 miles away from me. So to know that they were safe and sound and everything was good, I took a deep breath and a beat and just kind of enjoyed my surroundings, did some pin trading, and decided that, you know what, I've made it this far, let's continue on. So I continued on over to Animal Kingdom, where I was able to finish up with my pin trading for the day. And even though I didn't finish my challenge before they landed safely and I was able to breathe. So I treated myself to a quick service meal at Satu'li Canteen. I have never eaten there. I've always wanted to. Whoever I'm with at Animal Kingdom always seems to that not be their thing, not something that they're interested in. So that day I was by myself, and so I treated myself, and it was fantastic. I will absolutely go back there again. I ordered one of the Satu'li make your own bowls, so it just had a bed of the noodles with the beef and the chicken, and then it had like that special slaw, and I put the creamy herb dressing on it, and it was fantastic. A lot of food for the money, so I am very grateful for that experience. It was wonderful. So let me show you the pins that I was able to trade for on my little adventure. So my pin trading haul was kind of a mixed bag of different things. I didn't go with anything specific in mind. I think the one that I'm most pleased with is this very large Zoom Zoom for Evil Queen. I've not seen one quite that large before. So I don't know if it's new, if it's old, whatever, but it was something that a cast member had just traded for, and I was able to scoop it up. And I also got the Pascal, and I did get this little Eeyore Zoom Zoom as well. I did end up with the Little Mermaid shoe. Even though I'm not really collecting the shoes, I thought it was a pretty pin. And then I have the Genie in the bubble bath, which I love anything Genie. Got a little bit of Cheshire Cat there as well. And then I saw this Tomorrowland pin, which I don't have any Tomorrowland pins, and I knew right away that I was going to grab that one. I'm not exactly sure who this character is. I'm going to have to look that up, but I thought it was unique, something I don't have any of, so I went ahead and I grabbed her. Then a Mickey Vinylmation Gingerbread Man seemed fitting for the time of year. Then there's a Figment cast member pin there. Anything Figment, I'm all about. The Mickey Nerd pin I thought might be a nice addition. And then I have a Sully Zoom Zoom, which will go very well in the collection. The Canada Icon pin, I don't have any of those, so I'm thinking I'm going to start collecting those. The Pluto lock, which I think I have it, but I like those lock pins, so I'm going to try to make sure I have them all. Goofy and anything Chip and Dale I very much like, so I grabbed that little one. And then the Mickey icon pin, which again, I think I might have it, but I'm going to go ahead and check in the collection and make sure that I do. Not a lot of pins, but I was able to explore all of the different parks, and it was a fun challenge for me. So that does it for my pin trading haul from my little challenge that I challenged myself to. It wasn't a ton of pins, but I did make it to all 4 parks. I also was able to do some trading at the Boardwalk Resort, which I thought was fun. I think the next time I go to do any kind of a pin trading challenge, I'm going to really pay attention to the different transportation options that they have so that I'm not burning time on Disney transportation. And maybe I'll set myself more of a challenge where I am focused in on collecting specific types of pins, like the Zoom Zooms or the princess shoes or things like that. So until the next time, bye-bye.